Degloirespace signing in. What a strange kind of week this has been. 2 headline killings and murders. 2. Charlie Kirk shot dead in Utah. Now, I'm not in the US, but you might say, what does this mean to us here, far away? Do you agree with his viewpoints? Did he represent your side of the coin? I've seen so many comments denouncing the murder, and at the same time I've seen people celebrating a murder. Some of these people are saying he was opposing their viewpoints. Some of them are saying he's not on the same faith as them, etc., etc. Personally, I knew of his work. Wasn't that big of a follower in terms of am I always up to date with his work? I wasn't. But there is something that I need to praise in him, something that I must defend, and something that I promote: the right to free speech. Funny enough, the night before, so it was night here, I actually filmed a video about people who get offended when you talk to them. So these people, you say something and instead of them replying to the topic, to the issue, they get offensive and they fire up. I was filming something like that the night before. And then I made another video about democracy and about Socrates. You'll see these on my page soon. In fact, today I was meant to release not this video, but the video about people getting offended. And then this happens. I like this man's approach. He'd go to universities or colleges and then he'd offer us a podium for people to voice out their opinions, and then there'll be a back and forth. I've seen him in times say he doesn't agree with something. I've seen him in times say, look, that's a good argument. So he's promoting a dialogue. And you see, this is the beauty of it. Promoting freedom of speech, promoting people to speak up. Agreeing or disagreeing, it doesn't matter. It's about bringing your thoughts out, your opinions out, and then these form a dialogue so that we can better the world. We can see the different points of views. Now, I know some people are saying, oh, there isn't really freedom of speech. They will police you in the end of the day and you can't take action. And yeah, you're right. You can't take action straight away. And it's selfish if you believe that just because you stated some needs that you got or a point of view that action should be taken immediately on your points. You forget there are millions of people in your country, so many types, so many views. Why should yours be taken on a global level or on a country level? It's very different. Does it matter that he was assassinated? Yes, it does. The threat of someone taking away freedom of speech, shooting someone because they speak a certain way, they say certain things, that's not justifiable. Even in all your cultures, or most old cultures, they used to say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So a word for a word. And let me tell you something. For me, a place that allows freedom of speech is where I will live. And those people who say there isn't any, these people do not know. They haven't lived in a place where if you breathe the wrong way that shows anything opposing the government, some soldiers will come and take you away and you will never be seen again. And there are plenty of places like that in the world. An old friend of mine who lived in a country that was once run by a dictator, he mentioned something to me. He said to me, in those times, if a brother got angry at his brother and just went and mentioned that he just says, oh, my brother once said this, that's it. They'll come, take his brother away, and there'll be no trial, nothing. No political system is perfect. And you know what? That's not what we're looking for. The word perfect is a very loaded word. In fact, I don't even know what it means anymore. What family do you see is perfect? What tribe do you see? Perfect. What friend group do you see that's perfect? Imagine you're running these little things, these little bodies, families, friend groups, etc. And even those cannot be gotten right. Imagine running a whole country. It's not going to be a piece of cake. There's a lot that goes into it. But in the end of the day, a country that can get itself organized, have laws, people's safety is there, and an economy flourishing, that's an accomplishment. It's something. And the reason freedom of speech matters so much is because in freedom of speech, it allows for trials and errors. It allows ideas to float around. It allows people to feel like they are part of the system and they are part of the building of this. And ultimately, you get judged for your actions, not your opinions. Opinions can change. Actions are different. Once actions are done, they're done. But opinions, hey, somebody might be a certain mindset or certain political stance in some of their years and then later on change. It's very possible. I will always push for a democracy where you can express yourself without fear. In fact, this platform that I'm speaking to you on, and many people, even those that oppose it, are using this platform. Hey, this is a result of freedom of speech. Even the people who were against Charlie Kirk, they are reaping the fruits of freedom of speech. I've seen people get up and tell him to his face that he's an idiot. They didn't get killed. That's a very big difference living in a totalitarian place or a dictatorship. It reminds me of a skit I saw when I was a kid. And basically there's a man, he's at home, he's sleeping in his bed, and he's having a dream. And the dream is opposing the dictator that runs that country. And suddenly he wakes up and he's like, oh, thank God, it's just a dream. And then suddenly the soldiers are knocking on the door and they arrest him because of the dream he had. That gives you an idea of the kind of oppression that people can be under when in a system that they don't agree with, when it's a dictatorship. I heard people criticizing Charlie Kirk, saying that, oh, he wasn't pro our cause, so his death doesn't matter to us. So to these people, I just want to ask, so where does it start? He has to care about your issues for you to care about a human life, for you to care about violence. So unless someone cares about your issues, that person is nothing. So where does it start? Where does the whole compassion part begin? Where does the humanistic part begin? Where do you begin the dialogue? Or at least he opens the door for that. He gave a podium for people to come up and give their voices. And if your issue mattered in a place that allows freedom of speech, it's just a matter of time. You just got to keep at it. It's a process. Keep at it and approach it in many different strategies, different ways. There is hope. Whereas in another system that does not believe in freedom of speech, you got no hope. If you're a minority believer of something, you will stay that way if you're lucky to live. And I know which of those two types I'd rather be neighbors with. Let's face the truth. Human beings will never all agree on one perspective, and they shouldn't. Variety, that's something here on Degloirespace we always talk about. Variety is a miracle of life. And if you're of that opinion, subscribe. We'd love to welcome you here. Any ideology that believes only it has the right to exist, any ideology that does not allow dialogue, those are threats to humanity. I have heard Charlie Kirk talk so many times, different views. I don't agree with everything he says. And I don't want to agree with everything he says. And that's exactly what he is, part of that system that says, hey, we don't have to agree on everything, but we get our values so that a system allows a society to function well. So I would like to take this time and say that may he rest in peace. And we need more people to come out and promote dialogue with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, dialogue should be there. An evolving person within is like a bee. Wherever they land, they collect pollen to make honey in their own kingdom. Your own kingdom is you. Degloirespace signing out.